Right, let's create our application and open the Xcode, click on File, New File, or just if you are just opening the Xcode, just go to New Project. And I'm going to select iOS application and just the app from here, click Next, give it a name. I'm going to call this Tic-Tac-Toe. And theme identifier, just select your theme. Organization identifier, you should have your own. If you don't have, it's just the reverse DNS. Mine is my website here. Interface, we are going to use SwiftUI, so make sure you have selected that, and language should be Swift. Core data and unit testing is not required, so click Next. I'm going to save mine on my desktop, so click Create. And here is our application, which is a standard empty application. You can click on Resume button here. It will show you this Hello World text. And on the left panel, you can see all the project structure, which our project name. This is the initial part of our project, what view is being loaded, which is the content view, is here. And our asset folder, which is empty. That's it. So what we want to do is basically, if we let's click Resume, make sure this thing is working. First, we're going to work on the user interface, and once we have the user interface working, we are going to do the coding. Right now, my canvas here is at 100%. I will make it a little bit smaller so we can fit it on our screen. And I'm going to choose iPhone 12 Pro here. All right, let's start from renaming this file here. Refactor rename. I'm going to call this home view, and this will automatically change the file name, and also here it will load home view as our initial view. So if you are doing it manually, make sure you rename the view that will be loaded here as well. All right, just let's quickly run this on our simulator, iPhone 12 Pro, not only on the canvas, and make sure everything is working. And we should see a hello world once it's loaded. All right, so this is working. It's okay. I'm going to go to the Ready application, and just to have a visual identifier what we are going to build in our project. So our home view is basically this view with only one button, which is play. And once our user has clicked the button, we will go to the game view, which is our second view. And here, depending on the state of the game, we have different user interface. So this is our Tic-Tac-Toe area. And then we have a loading view, some information about for our player to know the state of the game, waiting for a player, and an option to quit the game, which is another button. So if we click it, it will disappear the game view, and we are getting back to our home view, where we can again go to our start a new game. All right, so let's start from the home view. It's super simple, just one button, as you can see. Let me stop this and give it a space here. And here we are going to have just a button instead of our text. So I'm going to create a VStack. Let me just close our left panel here, which will give us some extra space here. So we have VStack, and I'm going to get rid of the text here. Instead, we're going to create a button, and our button is going to have a label. So the label will be a text with title is going to be play. And then we are going to add some parameters to our button. So we are going to add a font to be title, so it's bigger. And let me just resume this so we can see what we are building. All right, then I'm going to add some font weight. And let's call this semi-bold. And we put a frame for our button. The width gonna be 300, height, let's put 50, alignment, we don't need anything. So now you can see our button got some much bigger. Now we can add some background. And this is going to be a background color. And we are going to, for now, I'm going to just say color dot green, or let's call it system green. And let's put a foreground color to be white. And finally, let's put some corner radius of 20 points. All right, so this is our play button. And we have this everything centered. So we're not going to do anything about it. What we are going to do is add some action to our button. So what we want to happen when our user clicks on that button. So let's put here, for example, and let's test our button. You can run a test on the canvas here by clicking on this play button, but this will show that you can click on the button, but any printout on a console will not be visible here. So if we had any UI changes, we would see in our console as well. But right now we need to run on the simulator or on the device in order to see what's going on here. So as you can see, my hello prints. So it means our button is, working. All right. So what we want to do when our button is clicked is to show another view here. So in order to do that, we are going to add on our VStack here. You can see the curly brace of our VStack finishes here. We are going to add some presentation here. But as you can see from our ready application, the presentation is done modally and it's a full screen presentation. So it's not just you can drag down and remove the specific screen. So this is a full screen. So we don't want a standard model presentation. So what I'm going to do is add a full screen cover. And we need this one is presented on this miss, and we're going to use only the part is presented. So we need some kind of binding boolean to know if this is presented or no. What we can do here, say at state var is game view presented. And this is gonna be false. And here we're going to just use that, and we need a $sign here to do the binding. and just get rid of everything here. And we're just waiting to put a curly braces. And we will tell our full screen which view we would like to show. Currently, we don't have anything to show. So let's go ahead and create a new SwiftUI view. And this is going to be our game view. All right. And let's just say game view here. And let's show it. Okay, let's run our application. Oh, of course, we need to toggle these. So we change the value of it. We don't want to print. So whenever we click our button, we're going to switch the status of this is game view presented from false to true. And let's click, and it shows our game view. As you can see, there is nothing here to drag it down, and it's just our view with only the text here. So the first view of our application is ready. What we're going to do in our next lecture is just quickly refactor it, because we will be using this button layout in our game as well, game area. So we will have the same button type. So we would like to do something reusable here instead of having this long text with all the parameters. Also, this we could put in model view instead of having here. It's just a bit overkill only for this one to create a model view, but anyhow, we are going to do a home view model, and then in order to stack with our MVVM pattern, we are going to just create for this view also the view model. And again, for this view, it's not really necessary because we have just one parameter here, and doesn't do much apart from one button.